In today's video, we're taking a look at how to install a whole home filtration water system, easy and simple. This is so easy, anyone could do. Everything that we use on the video, we're going to leave a link on the description. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe. That does help us out a lot. Thank you. So you woke up today and opened the faucet. You notice that the water color is not the same as it usually is. You closed your eyes, then rubbed your eyes to see if you were still sleeping. You opened them again and notice it's getting worse. Don't worry, you're at the StatUpBox team. We've got your back. A few blocks away, then a train ride, one bus stop, but a back is a back. A whole house water filtration system helps remove sediment like dirt, sand, rust, and other particles before the water reaches your home plumbing, faucets, and appliances. They can help improve overall water quality, reduce buildup inside of pipes and fixtures, and help extend the life of appliances and water systems throughout your home. And today we're using the Cumberland WHS200C whole house water filter. It's designed for residential water systems. This particular one has a 3/4 of an inch connection. It features a clear housing for easy filter monitoring, a pressure relief valve for easier cartridge changes, and it's NSF certified as well. In this particular video, we're going to use this brand, but no matter which brand or type you use, the technique will be the same. This particular filter already comes with a P5 sediment filter, which is designed to reduce fine dirt, sand, rust, silt, and other sediment particles from the water. It can also use other compatible cartridges like the CW-F or the CW-MF or the P1 or the S1A filter for different levels of filtration and depending on your water quality and usage. And the general guidelines for replacement are every 2 to 3 months for average household use, monthly if you have very dirty or high sediment well water, and every 4 to 6 months for cleaner municipal water with light use. And now that we filled your brain with whole house water filter technology, we're ready for the installation. And the first thing that you want to do is locate your home. Once you located your home, the second thing that you want to do is turn off the main water supply and open the nearest faucet to relieve water pressure and drain the line. You want to choose an installation location on the main water line with enough room underneath the housing for future filter changes. And these are the items included in the box. You'll receive a mounting bracket along with 4 screws, which will be installed onto the upper back section of the filter housing for mounting support. And remember, when mounting the mounting bracket, you want to position the mounting bracket so the flow arrow matches the water flow on your tubing. And remember the ancient technique of lefty loosey, righty tighty. Once you feel it tight, that's good enough. Remember, everything being plastic, you don't want to ruin the threads. Also, inside of the box, we also get an optional beauty cover, which will be placed on the opposite side of the mounting bracket. So that means if you notice the filter housing, you have the same 4 holes either in the front or the back. And this is to make installation easier in case you want to install the brackets on one side or the other. And then the remaining side, you can cover it up with the beauty cover. And basically in this case, we're going to use the same technique. The only difference is we're using our own screws because the cover is optional. And remember, just like before, once you feel it tight, that's good enough. And now that our filter has leveled up, we're ready for the first thing that we're going to need for the installation. For this installation, we're using a 3/4 of an inch NPT fitting on the filter side, while the opposite end can connect to PEX A, PEX B, copper, CPVC, PVC, galvanized, or braided plumbing lines, depending on your plumbing setup. In this video, we'll be using a shark bite push to connect fitting and also showing a PEX B clamp and also ring fitting. But no matter which connection you use, just make sure the filter side is a 3/4 of an inch NPT and the other side matches your tubing type and size. Remember, we also have videos in depth of SharkBite push-in connections, PEX A clamp or ring connections, as well as PEX A expansion connections. We'll leave links on the description of the video. In our next step, we want to wrap Teflon tape around the threaded fitting, and we install Teflon tape by wrapping it clockwise around the male threaded fitting so it tightens within the threads as you screw it in. Apply 2 or 3 tight wraps, keeping the tape smooth and pulled snug so it seals the threads properly and helps prevent leaks. Once the Teflon tape is installed, then we want to install the adapters onto the filter's head. What we like to do is start by hand and then tightening with a wrench. In this particular case, we're going to use an adjustable wrench, and using a proper wrench instead of pliers gives you a more even, controlled tightening force, which is going to help you create a better seal, but most importantly without damaging the tightening nut. And you will stop tightening once you feel it's snug and firm. And this will be the same technique if you're using the PEX adapters as well. And now we're ready for the next step. We're going to first measure and mark the section of the pipe where the filter will be installed, remembering to make sure that you leave enough space for the housing for future filter changes. Then we're going to cut out the section of the pipe and deburr or clean the edges so you don't have any rough spots that could affect the seal. For copper, make sure the pipe is clean and smooth for the compression fitting, and for the PEX, you want to cut it clean and square so it's ready for your crimp, clamp, or push fit connection before attaching the filter assembly. In this particular case, we're cutting out 7/3/8 of an inch of the tubing, and we measured from one side of the installed SharkBite connection to the other. This measurement accounts for the insertion depth on both ends, which you can confirm using the markings on the fitting so everything fits properly once installed. And in this case, we're going to use our SharkBite tool, which both deburrs the pipe and marks the correct insertion depth in one step. It works for multiple pipe sizes, so you can select the size you're working with. To deburr the pipe, we insert the tool and turn. We make sure to do this for both pipes. Then we reinsert the tool so we can mark the correct insertion depth for our fitting. And now you've done it. You broke your home. You had a good working pipe and now you don't. No, you didn't. Yes, you did. You know you did. But don't worry, Grasshopper. We believe in you. We know you got this. And if you're using copper pipes, just like before, we start by measuring and cutting the section. In this case, we're going to use the rigid midget tubing cutter, which is designed for small spaces, and this basically works by clamping around the copper pipe and tightening slightly with each rotation until it cleanly scores and cuts throughout the pipe for a straight, precise cut. And a pro tip, you don't want to go back and forth. This is going to remove you from the score line and have multiple lines. You just want to keep turning, and that would keep you on the original line. And after cutting, we want to deburr and clean the edges both on the inside of the pipe and the outside. And remember, every tool that we use on this video, we're going to leave a link on the description. And if you want to go in depth on how to install and remove SharkBite fittings, we'll leave links on the description for our videos as well. And when installing your filter, the most important thing is to make sure that the flow direction arrow on the filter is pointing in the same direction as your water flow on your line. And now, no matter if you're using a copper pipe, a PEX pipe, or a CPVC pipe, the technique will be the same. We're basically going to push our pipe inside the fitting. We want to make sure that when we push in, we get to the mark that we created with our depth gauge. And remember, a pro tip, you don't want to twist the pipe or the filter when pushing it in. And this would avoid that look from the spouse, roommate, loved one, or family member on the household. We believe in you, Grasshopper. We do. Once you do this for one side, then you can do this for the next side. But let's say in your case, you're not using the push-in connection and you're using a PEX fitting, either for clamp or ring, what you basically want to do is make sure that you insert the pipe inside the fitting all the way through. And a pro tip, always remember to insert the clamp or ring before installing the pipe. Then you want to place the clamp or ring about 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch from the end of the pipe. And when using the crimping tool, position it square over the PEX crimp ring and squeeze the handles fully until it completes the crimp. Make sure to avoid any crooked placement, partial crimps, or over crimping, which can weaken the connection or cause leaks. And if you want to watch a more in-depth video on how to install and remove crimp rings or clamp rings, we do have individual videos for each. We'll leave links on the description. A pro tip, when installing the filter, regardless of the type of tubing or fitting you're using, never let the weight of the filter hang on the pipe. The weight can stress the connections, weaken the joints, or even crack or burst the piping. So always support the filter yourself or have someone to hold it in place while you make the connection. That's why having a Watson around always goes a long way. And now we're ready for the next step. Using the included mounting brackets, we want to secure the system to the wall for proper support, making sure to anchor it correctly depending on the surface into studs when installing on drywalls, or using appropriate wall anchors for hollow sheetrock if a stud isn't available. And for concrete or masonry walls, use concrete screws or masonry anchors to ensure a solid, secure mount that can safely support the weight of the filter. If you want to check out our video on how to find a stud with a stud finder, we'll leave a link on the description. Also, if you want to check out our video on how to screw into concrete more in depth, we also have a video on that. We'll leave a link on the description. And always remember to use the same technique passed down generation to generation of lefty loosey, righty tighty. And now you've done it. You're one step closer to victory. We want to make sure that the filter cartridge is installed inside of the housing. We want to make sure that the housing is completely tightened down before opening our water line. And if we pass those two questions, we can slowly turn the water back on. We can press the red pressure relief button to release trapped air and check carefully for leaks. We also want to run the cold water throughout the system for about 10 minutes to flush the new filter before normal use. Also remember, it is normal to hear air coming out the line when you first open the faucet after installation, as trapped air is being flushed out of the system, and it will clear once the lines fully refill with water and pressure stabilizes. And now you've done it. You become a black belt on whole home water filter installation of your block. There's no filter you can't install. You can pat yourself on the back for a job well done. Don't forget, if you like the video, please give us a thumbs up. That really helps. If you have any questions, place them in the comment section below. Either someone on the StatUpBox team or someone on the YouTube community can help you out with an answer. Don't forget to subscribe, follow us on social media. Thank you for watching, and here's a link to our latest video.